Welcome some and few. This is Usually Dead, and I have come today to talk to you about neo-hyperconservatism and what it means in the world in the spheres of international trade and commodities markets. That's bullshit, of course. I'm here to talk about Mountain of Faith. And on this Touhou review, I want to approach this a little bit more differently than I do on my reviews of the other Touhou games. I'd like to talk most about this game, as opposed to going into real existentialist philosophical rants about Touhou conceptually, like an overall franchise. I want to talk about Mountain of Faith because it deserves it. And I want to talk about this game in three major dimensions: that primarily of visual style, secondarily of the characters, and tertiarily of music. Now we're going to be watching a replay that is so far my best replay to date of Mountain of Faith, and it's really not all that awesome in the grand scale of actual Touhou players, but hey, I'm proud of it. It's a personal accomplishment, so suck it. Okay, let's get started. Now loading. Okay. So now what is there to say about Mountain of Faith? I think that most importantly and primarily and foremost, Mountain of Faith is pretty. It is incredibly pretty. I have to say that just on the scale of visual, of course other games are going to be better in the way of gameplay or music or characters or any one of those dimensions, or sometimes in combinations of those dimensions, but in the scale of visual style alone, Mountain of Faith is, in my opinion, the best of the Touhou games. It is the prettiest. Even my favorite Touhou game, Subterranean Animism, I'm never going to pronounce that correctly, but the 11th game that comes after this one, even though that's my favorite game of the series, this is the prettiest. That Subterranean Animism is far, very, very dark, and it's got some great visual style to it, but Mountain of Faith is much, much better. It's godlike. I have never seen Zoo do anything quite this well. We just saw a second there, the mid-boss of the first of the two Aki sisters, and I suppose there's not really too much to say about them. They probably don't get all the Dojinshi airtime that they deserve. Really, it's more worthwhile talking about the boss here, but I have a challenge here. I have a real challenge for you viewers and listeners and thinkers and feelers. When you're watching this review of this game, I don't want you to look at the bullet patterns. I don't want you to look at the gameplay and think how much I suck in all the attacks that I could have avoided that I don't do so well. I would like to have you pay attention to the visual style of it. Like, we just missed it there, but you saw that there was like the orange faded background on the bottom, and then we have the red background up on the top, and the flat matte clouds and the shadows on the grassy texture on the ground far below, and it looks like fall. It just looks like fall to me, and it's really pretty and really beautifully designed. It's really a work of art on Zoo's part. And we see here that the Aki sisters are no doubt representative of the age-old Japanese idea of fall being the yummiest season, which is no doubt just a holdover from the idea of the farmer's market, getting your fresh crop out in the fall. Yeah, you know what, it's fine. We'll talk a lot more because there's lots more pretty colors to come along.